Self deliverance. Sure, you can address it verbally and go and command things to leave, etc. But as you live in the spirit more and more, you don't even have to say a word. You go up to that area, that place of where you find garbage or the seeds of the devil. As you sleep, your nightmares or your dreams are reflected as seeds that are sown into your conscious, subconscious, and your mind, right? And when you wake up, sometimes these things marinate. The residue is there, and you're going about your day, and you feel foggy, and you feel like it's a stumbling block unto you, and that's exactly what it is. It's a stumbling block. He wants you to meditate on these things, right? Whatever it may be, it doesn't matter. Sometimes if you do something in your dream that you quit, but you found yourself doing it, something like drugs, then you find yourself insecure throughout the day. And the devil works with insecurity more than anything else. So yesterday I had a dream about an old friend, an old buddy of mine that I used to hang around with when I was in the world. And I used to purchase drugs off this guy. And I found myself in my dream yesterday talking to him and asking him for drugs. And we were just collaborating about it in the dream. Now, I made this video because I understand that some people will have these stumbling blocks in their life, but they won't know what to do with it. The Bible says to cast your cares upon the Lord, for He cares for you. That's number one. The Bible says that the battle is the Lord's, it's not yours. That's another good principle to live by. Whenever you try to take charge in your own life about, like, I'm not going to fall, this is not going to happen to me, blah, 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 that comes off as prideful. The Bible says that the devil is the accuser of the brethren. And before God, he accuses you day and night. So the devil, he's a legalistic enemy. And what he'll do is, if you say the wrong things, right, and you act inappropriate, the devil will ask for permission to humble you and to attack you, because he knows that God is against pride. And he'll be like, hey, that person's acting awfully prideful, as if, because this is the thing, God has your back, right? The devil's attacking you, God has your back. You prayed, the devil went away, left you alone. And then if you capture pride from that moment and say, look at me, I'm so, like, powerful that my enemies can't have, they can't overtake me, this and that, but you capture the wrong attitude about it, well, then you are going to get checked, right? Won't be long until you get tested in that area and you get humbled. And I know this from experience, because I come from a past that I used to have pride, and God has humbled me and allowed certain things to happen because of the way I conduct myself and the way I speak. So the Bible says that we're going to give an account for every idle word that we've ever uttered. So words do matter. Why would we have to give an account if our words weren't important? The Bible says that our words produce life and death, and the people will eat the fruit thereof. So what I'm saying is this: when you live in the Spirit and you form habits around living in the Spirit, you can form habits around living for God, where it's an automatic. You wake up in the morning, you say, good morning, Jesus. And you start your day there. And you just put on worship. According to what you need, you start to pray about it. And sooner or later, these things will become so part of your life that if you don't do it, you feel weird. These are habits that we form, right? Now, as you live in the Spirit more and more, you'll find yourself that when you're in a place where you feel out of place, like dirty, or you feel like there's clutter, garbage, seeds of the devil, etc. You're in the spirit so much so that when you wake up and you go to sleep, you know what it feels like to be clean. And when there's a smudge on you, you know what that feels like, because it wasn't there yesterday. And so you know, hey, there's cobwebs that I got to deal with. Hey, there's some funky stuff that doesn't smell right, doesn't look right, doesn't feel right to me. I got to address this. And that's why I want to make this video, is because this morning I woke up and I felt like I had so much not right with me. And this happens because the devil doesn't sleep, right? So while you sleep, they're forming strategy against your life. So this morning, one of the things that we do is we give God praise and glory for every action he takes on behalf of your life. So when you ask God to help you and deliver you and bless you, etc., and you see a move of God, understand that it's his goodness that did that for you, right? And don't get in the way of God's glory. Give him his glory. Don't take it for yourself. Don't be like, oh, I'm so special, I'm so this, I'm so that God moved on my behalf. You will get humbled, right? This is about you being a child of God, understanding that we're in a spiritual war, in a battle, that you need God's help. But the position that you ought to take is one of a humble servant, one that exalts God in your every daily activities, journey, etc., and shuns evil and rebukes the devil. So in short, if you want to deliver yourself, you go up to that place where you feel funky, because I feel sorry for the people. I feel bad for them. I feel sorry for them, that the people that have what I had this morning, and they just travel through life that way. They just don't know any better. You can be delivered. So this morning I woke up and I felt like my mind wasn't right. I was thinking about things I didn't want to think about. I had things in my mind embedded like seeds. There was clutter. It wasn't productive or fruitful. It wasn't beneficial to me. It was just stuff that the devil was working with to try to get me to fall. A lot of people have that in their minds, in their hearts, soul, in their body. And unless you address it, it will stay there. It will remain. And that's scary to me. It's scary to me that, people fall unnecessarily. They don't have to fall, but they fall. But they could address it in the spirit, get rid of that, and then they won't have that temptation to fall. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that as the devil tries to concoct a strategy against you, disarm his strategy, dismantle the strategy, and always be on top of yourself. Know yourself well enough to understand when you're being messed with. Don't be such a mess yourself that you don't know when there's stuff added to your life to try to mess you up further. Rather, live a clean life, a simple life, a beautiful life, one that honors God. And when something comes in like a cockroach or a rat, right, a rodent, something that doesn't feel right to you, and it comes in the form of thoughts, feelings, insecurities, these are spirits that are attacking you, right? And then at that point, understand that you have authority and power over it. And the more you spend time with Jesus, the more these things don't have a place in your life. And so the more you understand your identity and who you are in God, the more you resolve these situations. You resolve them with God. You resolve them 1, 2, 3. And you're back on track with what you need to do, right? It's all about the Lord. The praise goes to him. The glory goes to him. It's not about us. And we understand all of that. And it's important to say that, because if you try to say, oh, I resolve it 1, 2, 3, it comes off as prideful and egotistical and almost like, who do you think you are? These things are more powerful than us, right? They're They're forces that have been around thousands of years. They don't die. They're eternal. So for us, a carnal creature, to stay otherwise, then it's like, let me teach him a lesson, and because God knows that he will come back and rebuild you stronger and better and smarter and more humble, he will allow that to be the case, and say, all right, they are acting a little prideful, go and show them. This is a life that God is chiseling us down, and in our character, in our testings, in our day to day, right? So he's not against you going and having a bad day, but because he's going to produce something really, really good out of it. But rather, God is concerned with how you treat people, how you treat yourself, how you think of him, etc. And according to these ways, he will chisel us down. And that's God's ultimate job in our life. He wants to produce fruit in our branches. And then he wants us, when we get tested, or how we conduct ourselves in our day-to-day life, he wants us to be responsible. Be responsible in how we go about life. I hope this video blessed you and helped you to really understand the power you have, the authority you have in God as an identity, as a son and a daughter of God, right? And to walk in the light and to be close to the Lord, connected to Jesus, right? But not to allow that to make you prideful. If boast in the Lord, don't boast in yourself, boast in the Lord, and you're gonna bear good fruit that way, and stay out of trouble that way as well. And also, always be on top of yourself and be like, yo, I don't feel right here, I don't look right there, I don't and then address those things. Don't let it linger, don't let it add up, don't let it connect itself to something else that the devil will bring into your life, and then you find yourself doing stuff and thinking stuff, and and I could go on and on with this video, I really could, but the point that I'm trying to make is that there's seeds that are sown through other people's actions, through their words. Yesterday, I'll say this in one of the video. Yesterday, my neighbor, invited me and my wife to drink alcohol at his house, and I said, "Oh no, we don't drink. We're ex-alcoholics, right?" And then he went on to say, and this is how the devil works. He went on to say, "Oh, one drink won't hurt you. It's okay." And he was trying to disguise it around hospitality. He was trying to, and use this compassionate, like these feelings that people are like, oh, come on, we're buddies, we can chill and this and that. And usually these are lures. People have to look at it like that. They're lures, like bait, that the devil puts different bait on the lure to try to capture the person. So if the person feels like, oh, they're letting the person down, this is a form of peer pressure, is a form of let me accommodate them because I don't want them to feel offended or this or that. So let me just go to their house. I won't drink, but I'll go, and this and that. Like me personally, I just don't give the devil a foothold. I don't give him a loophole to work with. I'm not perfect, and I'm not trying to disguise myself as a person that is like high and mighty. I'm just a mature Christian that understands the game, and I think that's okay to say. But with all that said, guys, I just wanted to say that temptations and seeds, more than just temptations, seeds are deposited in people's conscious, subconscious, in their mind, in their hearts, by way of conversations that you have with people on a daily basis. And so something that they say, you think that it's no big deal, yet you're meditating on it throughout the day, even unconsciously. It's just there. It's a seed that's there. And if that seed is not for you, it's against you. And if it's against you and that seed stays and remains, it will bother you. It will affect you. It will act as an insecurity. It will talk to you. It has a voice. It will talk to you and help you to entertain it. And the more you entertain it, it's you watering that seed, and it starts to bud. It starts to grow. And then, if the enemy sees that you're weak, he will send somebody that fits the description of you falling to that person's devices. That person will come with the perfect, at perfect time with the perfect little gift and say, hey, let's do X, Y, and Z. And you were just already meditating on it and it's, and all that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to teach you spiritual warfare, how it originates, how it starts. If you go track back all the way to the beginning, this is where it starts. Sometimes it comes in the form of TV. Okay, I don't watch TV, hardly ever. I do get on YouTube and I watch videos, but I try to keep it, godly. And if it's not about Jesus Christ, I try to keep it positive. It's not garbage. And so, again, I'm not trying to paint myself out to be perfect or this or that, to make anybody feel bad or this or that. It's not about that for me. It's really about being authentic and living the life that God called us to live, right? And helping yourself, because you understand that this is all for you in the end of the day, right? Because to live for God is to help yourself and to bless yourself, right? To be living for yourself and not for God is to actually hurt yourself and destroy yourself. That's why so many people are making prayers to God to save them from so many decisions and errors that people make because they're following their flesh, right? So in short, God is the way. He is the truth. He is the life. And that is absolutely true. So hopefully this video blesses you. God bless you. Goodbye.